All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with John. We have a little bit of a dim light situation here, but anyway, how y'all doing? Sorry that I missed you yesterday. Boy, what a what a crap show yesterday was. I went to I had no shows yesterday. I went to Salt Lake City ostensibly to get my tattoo finished up. Right, I've been working on this sleeve here for a couple years now. Bit drips and drabs, a lot of work. Every session I go is an 8-hour session to get this work done. And I have a really great artist, a good friend of mine, but he moved from Vegas to Salt Lake, and that's where I have to go now. Anyway, fly all the way out there, right? I get up yesterday at 2 o'clock in the morning, get to the airport. My plane boards at 4 o'clock. I get to Salt Lake City at like 8 o'clock local time. Uber to the mall where the tattoo shop is, and I teach. I still have my day job, so I taught for an hour and a half from the food court at the mall, which is crazy. Went upstairs to go do the tattoo, and he's sick as a dog, like food poisoning, green, like awful sick. Couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So I would always like say for nothing. I went all the way up there. He couldn't do the tattoo. I'm like, shit, So here I am at like 11 o'clock in the morning. My flight is at 9 o'clock at night last night, and I had like, what am I going to do? I went back to the airport, trying to get a standby flight. To get back to Seattle, couldn't get on any flights. I sat at the airport from about noon to 9 o'clock last night. Just like, it was a total waste of a day. So yeah, the arm didn't get finished, but we did have a chance to design what's coming. So that's kind of cool. I got that going for me. Yeah, wow. So what a bummer of a day. I did do a daily paycheck the night before though. Wednesday night I went live at like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. And I left the video as unpublished, so you couldn't see it. And yesterday morning, I turned the video on, which I think nobody watched. But we had a paycheck win yesterday, or Wednesday night we won. So we were 4-0 this week with the new storm. And today was the last day. Today was day 10 of the storm, so the last of the second week. So we're up to date in terms of the number of sessions that we did with it. And I'll recap for you where we are in just a minute. But before we do, your daily commercial. Reminding you about the cruise that's coming out of Galveston. Again, it's my hosting group, Premier Hosting, myself, Michael Feldman, Don Wood, Howard Rock and Roller, and a bunch of you are coming. I've already got, I think, 5 or 6 people, interested in going from our little community here. If you want to do it, let me know. It's April 28th. It's a 7-day cruise out of Galveston. We're going to go to Mexico, Honduras, and we get to, have sessions on their tables. We get to practice. We get to talk strategy. It's going to be super cool. Plus, of course, cruising is just apparently very fun. So join me with that. If you want to get more information about it, drop me a text. It's 702-518-6442. Happy to get there, or premiercasinohosting.com. Also a place to get more information about it. So with that said, let's move on and actually talk about where we are. So I have some funny things to talk about today. One is going to be, she blinded me with science. Boy, the whole brouhaha going on right now, isn't there? With the science stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. Quick reminder that I'm going to be on with Garrison and John Patrick on December 12th. That's going to be pretty cool. I get to meet for the first time and talk to John Patrick, who's one of the people that I admire most in the gambling world. I know that, John Garrison for sure can be hot and cold, right? People, people love to hate on Garrison, and that's totally fine. John Patrick, though, also has his share of people who love to hate on him. And I think, the math guys really don't like John, because John hates come betting. John, again, I think a lot like him. I work really hard at my discipline, and I think that, and John thinks that discipline is the way to do this. He's a believer in trends. I'm not. He's a believer in hedging. I'm not necessarily a big believer in hedging, although the storm has been working, which is kind of a hedgy strategy. He and I differ on a couple of things, but by and large, this idea of money management, discipline, and being self-aware was the one thing from him that I got the most out of growing up. And it's my whole gambling life has been pretty conservative, pretty careful, and as a result of some of the teachings from him. So I get to talk to him. I'm really excited about that. All right, let's wind it back up again. He's my favorite. Patrick's awesome. The guy's like 93 or 94, something like that. So yeah, I can't wait to meet John. All right, let's wind it back a little bit. And boy, some stuff happened yesterday that I wasn't aware of because I was gone for a day. But we had the heavy and Gargoyle and Jeff and Ed went live, and they had this great discussion. I thought it was a really good discussion, and there were a lot of good things said there. And again, I don't agree with them on everything, right? But you're talking about a lot of wisdom and a lot of years of experience there on that show. That night was great, right? To kind of absorb a lot of what they were saying. And the subject of the chopper came up, and it was like, a comment got made about, how the original, the history of that throw was based on the old whip shot, right? And guys would grab the dice in their claw, and they would kind of whip it down there and slide it. Matter of fact, there's still, I have a picture somewhere of this. Do I still have it on my desktop? I do, I think. Let me see. Is this it right here? Hold on. Let me see if I have it. And that's not it. That's not it. I might have got rid of it. I got a picture somewhere of a table in Reno where the little placard says $5 minimum, no dice sliding, right? That's like the genesis of all this stuff, right? It's that old whip shot. But, somebody heard it. Gage heard it, the comment about the whip shot, and took it really personal and did this whole, I watched this video on the plane last night. I was like, oh my God, he is over the top snarky on this damn thing, right? Ed did one last night, this whole science thing. I do want to say this, and I don't want to get into the middle of the argument there, or the disagreement there, but I will say this with regards to the science of dice control. And I did this whole series on it, right? Way back, about a year and a half ago, on dice control, where I really dove in, right? I dove into why do people do it? What's the advantage? I did all this math breakdown. I did tons of slow motion video breakdown, tons of it, right? We looked at the disaster that can be a dice shot. Some of the best players in the world, right? These guys put out this beautiful, and it's a train wreck, right at the end. I don't know. Ed said this one time. He's like, I don't know how the hell it works. He's like, Ed and I did a show together, and he gave me slow motions of his own shots. And he's like, look, it's a train wreck, dude, but it works. He's like, I have no idea how it works, but it works. I remember him saying that to me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, you can't fight City Hall, I guess, right? The results are the results. I broke down my chopper about 6 months ago with some slow motion video, and I proved on that video, and I'll stand by this all day long. I know that I have good friends, Greg and JB, who really hate dice control, right? Just don't like it at all, for lots of reasons, but they just think that it's a fool's errand. But I have got video that shows the chopper that I was throwing then. I throw it different now because Gargoyle's helping me out, but the chopper, the way that I threw it back then, works. And I got slow motion video that shows you perfection in a shot. It shows you the dice coming in and spinning, hitting the deck and still spinning, hitting the wall and still spinning, hitting the deck again and still spinning, and the dice tops staying up. I've shown, scientifically proven, that shit works, right? Now, can I do it every time? No, because I'm not very good. It takes a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill combined, right, to make that work. But I proven that it can be a thing, right? There's my hope. There's my hope, right? It's a wing and a prayer for me, right? It's a 1 in 1,000 shot that I can do that now. But yeah, there's science behind this. There's definitely physics behind all the shots. I don't know how it all works. I really don't. I'm not a physicist. I don't know how it all works. I've seen slow motion of things working. And so not to add fuel to the fire, but scientifically proven is whatever. I don't know where that even came from. I don't even know how that whole shit got started, but I have some great slow motion, and I know that it can work. I have slow motion of par shots, and I've seen that work, right? I don't know how the par shot works, but it kind of works. Like I said, the guys who study it can speak to it better than I can. But anyway, the back and forth sniping now has begun, which is actually a little bit of hey, let me get some popcorn and watch. Let's go watch these guys go after it a little bit. But boy, yeah, it got ugly yesterday. And that's it's too bad that has to happen. And it goes to the rant that everybody did. I think Cage's rant was ridiculous. I had the same issue that what happened. What Heavy and Ed and Gargoyle were talking about got heard by somebody who didn't hear it all and took what he heard and went off the cliff with it, right? That happens sometimes. You have to, when you watch our shows, you have to really listen to context. I say this, I've talked my trending conversation. We've had this all the time, right? I get really mad when people don't understand what I mean when I talk about trending. And it's because I feel like it wasn't all the way heard. People picked pieces of it out and went off into a crazy town with what they heard. They think they heard, not what they actually heard. And I think that's what Cage did with those guys. And it's unfortunate because he heard what he thought he heard, what he wanted to hear, and went like basically like this to three of the most intelligent, wisdom, experience-based guys you'll ever meet, and went off the deep end with it with for no reason at all. And now, you know, it's a thing. But yeah, the science works. I've seen the science. I've seen slow motion of this thing working, and I'm telling you, is the pursuit worthwhile? I don't know. You know what I mean? I still don't know that it's worthwhile. We talk about this all the time. Like, what does it get me? What does it get me? If it gets me 1 or 2 extra, then I'm all good, right? And that's what it's all about. All right, let's move on. Let's move on and talk about the Johnny Storm and the copter. I'm calling this toss the copter because you got to name it something to be funny, right? It is the helicopter toss that I'm working on hard right now with Gargoyle. And you saw, if you watched my show this morning, you saw a couple of things happen, right? There was about 5 or 6 throws that were literally perfect, like absolutely. They made 7s, okay, but they were perfect throws. Like, they looked awesome. Like, the energy's right, the landing's right, the flight's right. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with that throw and getting into grooves. Now, sometimes the groove that you get into is a bunch of 7s and a bunch of horns. So we got to talk about that, right? When you're dice setting and whatever, if you understand the sets and it's a big giant if it all works, you're going to get into your pocket, right? Ideally, your pocket is a bunch of box numbers. Today, my pocket was 7s and 11s. Tons of 7s and 11s today. A lot of short rolls, 0.7 outs. I had a ton of come out 7s. Today's pocket was that, right? And for whatever reason, what I was doing with the set that I had was producing a ton of 7s today. That's not a bad thing. And what I mean by that is, if it's predictable, right? I hate to say the word predictable, but if it's predictable, if your set is producing a bunch of 6s, then that's fantastic. You can bet the 6. If your set's producing a bunch of 7s, you might say that sucks, I'm losing money, unless you lean into it. Lean into the 7, right? Lean into what you're throwing. That's kind of the thing. And today was that day. Anyway, the Storm today, we lost money. We lost $250 today. But if you watch that show today, the $250 that we lost, whew, we lost, I want to say, for sure 6, maybe 7 come outs with $50 on the don't. I think it was 7. I think I lost 7 of those bets. I had 2 come out ace deuces. So we lost 7, we won 2, right? Net at least 5 times 50, at least 250 we lost on the come outs, okay? Which equates to that amount of money that we lost today. We lost 250. At least 250 that was on come outs, the net of the come out. But here's the good news. Air quotes, the good news. We lost 3 points today. I buckshotted the point twice with the 180 in odds, right? See you, Jacob. I buckshotted the point with 180 in odds today, twice. I lost on the point with no odds twice today. And we 7'd out with our $50 bet and lost the whole box, I think twice. That's a lot of negativity, right? Buckshot, that's 230 every time that buckshot happens, right? And that happened twice. Losing all the across bets is 160. That happened at least twice today. And we still only lost 250, which means that son of a bitch fought all the way back, right? The idea of the odds and the 50 for 1 a few times and the odds and 50 for 1 a few times, that works. And that thing fought back like a champion today. To be down 250 after losing 230 3 times, 160 twice, and $50 5 or 6 times, and still just be down 250, that, my friends, is a stable strategy. This one here is a keeper. I really like it. There's things we can do to it to make it even stronger, but as a walk up, let's make our paycheck strategy so far, this is the best 6, 7, 8 I've played so far. Of all of them, this one here has worked the best. I love how the odds reduce and get you out. I love where the decision making is. You have so many ways to run in there. I think this is a good one. This is a real. I really like this one. As far as the 6, 7, 8, and it does let you switch sides. At the end, you when you're left with the across bet and a small tiny don't, you can pick sides. You can get, you know what, take the bets down, lean into that don't pass, or you can say, take the don't away by hedging it off and just go right side. You can pick a side at the end. I love it. I love it. It's doing really well, and I'm enjoying playing it. Hopefully, you're enjoying watching it. I posted it. It's on this channel, John. I go live with that one at 7 a.m. Pacific time. So I literally finished up 10 minutes ago, and I came running down here to do this show here. So yeah, Jan, I went down really hard at the start, and we were clawing from behind the whole day. I actually got even twice. We were at even 2 times today, and we could have easily stopped. I'm like, yeah, one more shooter. We had 15 minutes to go. On a regular day, you may not have taken the one more shooter. You may have just been, even is good enough to get the hell out of here, right? So here we go. Let's go have some fun. It's Friday. It's 8:23. I got about half an hour or so. I want to go and do some Friday follows with you. Let's just go to this screen here and do this. We're going to go run the $1 Million Challenge. All right. So we are right now in level 2. Last week, we turned $300 into $600. We doubled our money. Now we have $500. I need to win $600 from the 500. I got to turn 500 into 1,100. That's going to be today's goal. All right, there's the chart. If I happen to do it, we're going to go to $1,000 as a starting bankroll and try and double that again to 2,400 or 2,200 bucks. All right, here we go. I'm going to leave that off the screen, go back over here, and let's get it on, as they say. I'm going to bring my coffee over here. And what I have in the rack is this. From the first round, I'll move it over here. Hopefully you guys can see this. Oh, geez, I just knocked over all my chips. From the first round, let's see. Let me pick that up for the dog gets it. We won, whatever that is, $92. We had that in profit. We then went out with $500 last week. There's the 500, and we got up a little bit. We had some troubles, didn't play so great, and we're up a net, whatever that is, 60, 70 bucks, $65. So we have $500. We still need to double our money. And today, let's do something. And I put the title of the video today was badass moves. Okay, let's do some badass moves here. Let's take the $500. I'm going to take it out here. Let's take 400 and 100 like that for the nickel. And let's just have a little bit of fun. I'm going to go out here and just catch a point and run a 5. Okay, good. Point's 5. Actually, you know what? I got to probably do this so you don't think I'm cheating. Let me do this here. People think I cheat. I don't know why they think I cheat, but they do. Let's go here to the bigger view. You can see the dice roll. And what I'll do is we're going to go 160 across. Okay. 100, 150, 160 across. And I'll leave the rest of the money over here. We're going to go and just burn the 160 today because it's Friday follies and I'm not going to try and play this careful. There's 100, 50, 160 across. All right. And the point is 5. And let's just go. We're going to go ahead and do some fun stuff today. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, but I'm going to play the buttercup for a little bit. Little 6-8 tower. We'll see how that does. I may switch to a 4-10 flip just for funsies. Or I'm just going to rip out in PSO and take 160 away. That's also a possibility to just burn the 160. So that all loses. I'm going to take out of my rack 175 from my rack. Okay, I'll take $15 change and ask for the same bet. That was not a good start. Not a good start. You're gonna make $1 million. You gotta get a hit at somewhere, right? At some point. There's an 11 yo. Wow. Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be my show if I didn't start out in the hole, right? There's an 8. Let's do this. Let's go 8. Can I get anything but a 7? Hey, we got a 4. Fantastic. Okay, that's gonna pay 50 for 1. $50 for 1. All right. We're gonna power press the 6 and the 8. I'm gonna buttercup the 6 and the 8. Okay, we call it the buttercup because when I first did this, We're going to only ever collect on these two. We're going to press everything to the 6 and the 8 until something happens. Greg from 555 Craps sang, "Fill me up, buttercup, don't break my heart," because I kept making these towers so huge. And the one day I rolled 30-something rolls, 35 or 36 rolls, never hit a 6 or an 8. I had them at like $300 each, never hit them, not once. But if we hit them today, we're going to always collect on the 6 and 8. There's a 6. That's going to pay $70. That just comes to the rack. $70 coming back. And again, we got to make a lot of money here because we lost. I'll put the reds and whites over here. We lost 160 and we're out for 160. So we got to make 320 before I feel good about life. That's only $70. There's an 8. That's the point. That thing rolled over. There's 1. We'll do 75 for 5. And now it's 140, right? That basically covers, not completely, but it almost covers the first loss we took, which is cool. The buttercup. I have never tried this in a casino, like hardcore tried it. I've done it a little bit, but one of these days I'm gonna just burn a bankroll and just get out there and see if we can't make a tower the size of Tower of Babel someday. All right, there's a 10. Oops, that rolled over. It's a 6-4. It was a 6-4-10. That is going to pay again 50 for 1. 50 for 1. I'm going to make them look like 90. I can go to 78 here, or I can go to 90. Either way, let's just be aggressive and go to 90. And if we catch one of these things, that'll be awesome. And we'll feel better about ourselves by power pressing. Here we go. 6 and 8. 6 and 8 only. There's a 7. Bummer. Bummer. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. That would have been so cool though, right? To have had like a nice $105 hit there. Let's buttercup it again. Let's do it again. Boom. One more time with the badass move. There's 150, 160 going out. Same bet. How fast can John lose $500 is the question, right? How fast can I lose it? The buttercup, will it cost me all 500? There's a 9 as a point. Will the white dice save my butt? Let's find out. 4, 2, 6, $35. Again, 6 and 8, always a collect. Always. Let's have an awesome roll. You son of a bitch. Look at that. Another 7. Gee whiz. Brutal. Brutal. 150, 160. I'm down to $50. I burned the whole 500 trying to win $1 million. Turns out winning $1 million is hard. Who'd thunk it? There's a 639. 639. There's an 8. All right, $35. That's good. I'll take that. Let me bring this back up so you can see it. $35. There's the 8. Boy, if I don't get my money here, we're not going to be able to play again. That sucks. That really sucks. Come on. You. 3 PSOs, or 3 one-hit wonders. There's another 7, and we lose the whole damn thing. Yikes. Yikes. Do I have enough to do anything? I have 75. I can go 78. Oh, my God. I can go 85 across. That's so brutal. So brutal. Let's do this. Let's just go 6 and 8 for 30. We'll do the 5 and the 9. And with the other $5, we'll get the hard ways. $1 in the rack for good measure. Let's come out. Come out 7. The white dice are fighting back like they do. There's a 5, 3, 2. All right. What do we have in us? We have anything in us? Any fight at all today? 3, 2, 5. That pays $14. I'll take $2 back. Let's make my 6 and 8 look like 36. Puck is off, coming out. Ace of deuce. 6 is the point. All right, here we go. Rally time. No, it's not rally time. It is go home with your tail between your legs time. Look at that. Look at that. $500 down the frickin' drain. just like that. We got to start the whole process over. Now, I did break a rule, by the way. You're supposed to, in the $1 Million Challenge, if you lose half your bankroll, start over again at 300. I just burned the bankroll because it's fun, but let's do it. Let's go back and restart at 300. 1, 2, $300. Boy, oh boy, that was gross. Really, really gross and ugly. We got to turn $300 into 600. We're starting the whole thing over again. God, that pisses me off. But wouldn't you just think going across and pressing to the ceiling would work? Right? Isn't that great? That's what you're supposed to do? Go across and bet it all? I don't know. 4, 2. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm sorry. My bad. I'm going to be out here in the don't for $50. Okay, there's the 6. I'm going to do a little double action horseman here. Let's go. There's the 6. We buckshot the. Oh boy, look at my day, would you? Moves to the 6. All that loses. Wow. Puck is going to be off. I'm going to go. Boy, what do I even do here? Let's just let that roll out. There's an 8. My God. Today's going to be donation day. Another come bet. This is the horseman, but we don't have any don't pass to save us now, which means we're going to be stuck with 3 come bets. I'll make it a molly here in a minute. There's a 9. We have 3 bets out there. Let's odds them up. 6, 4, 9 for 30. Drop the odds. Let's make some of these things pay. Get our money back. Little molly. Hard 10. Seven out. Awesome. Oh my God, this is so great. It's going to lose everything today. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right, $25 on the don't. We're going to restart it and just have a day, right? Ed was saying, I don't know if he was talking about me or not, but the other day about guys roll. Oh, that was an 8, 5, 3. Guys rolling from 2 feet away on their table like this. This is not a DI show at all, right? We're just kind of farting around here. My thoughts on this are, by the way, a little 2-to-1 horseman here. My thoughts on all this are this. There's a 6. I feel like if a strategy works well from here, I'm 6 feet away from the back wall, just hucking and chucking, right? Just whipping them around, throwing them randomly. If a strategy can survive this, there's a quarter, then if you can throw the dice, right? If you become a real life, honest to goodness controlled shooter, there's a 4 hard, then the strategy that we're working here would work better, right? You're going to hit more of these, knock more of these numbers down as rolling up. If it works good against just brutal huck, chuck, throw, and it's reliable in that circumstance, then if your toss is one that can make you money, or one that can keep you in here, then these bets that we're making and these strategies that we show become better over time, right? And that's kind of the point of this whole thing, right? Is like, if I can make it work against gross throws, it'll work better against better throws, and that's part of what I'm going for. Let's roll the come bets through. I'm going to take that win and put it up here on the 5. I may move it depending on where it goes, but there's an 8 which knocks off the big don't. So I'm going to have one of those days, it looks like. But I'm going to rail dump here and put the $15 in odds on the 8. My odds are going to be working on the come out. And we got a 9. But yeah, I really believe that. I really believe that, and again, if there's 2 camps, right? Dice control or dice influence is possible, and a camp that says it's not possible. Well, wherever camp you live on, if the strategy works, it works. If it doesn't, if it works here, it'll work better there. That's why I look. All right, let's connect 9 get paid. That's going to be 10 flat. I'll be 18 in the odds. Let's come through. I'm going to increase the size of the come bet by 1 unit. Let's put $10 in odds on that 4. I'm just going to rail dump here as we go. But yeah, I'm a firm believer, right? If strategy has to work, freaking 12. Really? That sucks. All right, let's do one more. We'll rail down here. But yeah, if it works here, it'll work better if you're a better thrower. And I think that's a good way, a good healthy way to look at things, right? You don't have to, pick a side in the whole thing. There's going to be the 4 gets paid. I'm going to put the odds back up. I'm going to go back to $15 in the come. If come bet wins, it's going up by a unit. And I think focus on that, right? Like don't make throwing the entire thing that you're talking about. Don't make strategy the entire thing you're talking about. Just play and sort of enjoy what you're doing here. And if it happens to work, it happens to work. I'm resigned to the fact more and more now that the enhancements you can get from throwing are just that. It's an enhancement. It's not the secret sauce. It's an enhancement to this stuff. And this stuff here works. It works. There's the 5. That's awesome. It's going to get paid 10 flat and 15 on the odds. Again, a come bet that wins goes up by a unit. Bring all that crap back. We're still coming. It's going to roll a molly. Oh my God. Every time I bring this up, I lose it. Back to base. I've been very unlucky with those. Very unlucky. There it goes to the 8. Single odds on it. Very unlucky. I need a 10. I really need a 10 and a 4. Hey, we got a 4. Look at that. The 4's paid twice. Too bad we aren't flipping it, right? There's 10. There's 20. And again, we'll put the come bet at 1 unit higher and see if we can't make it happen here, huh? 6. All right, that goes to the 6. We'll single odds on the 6. I'm just going to do single odds, matching the base. Odds match the base. Nice and simple. There's a yo. But yeah, I think, where I land, hey, hard 6. Awesome. On this whole discussion of this stuff, this is going to be a 15 flat and 18 odds. 15 flat, and we'll do 20 for 2 on the odds. Okay. That goes to a $20 bet now because, again, it paid at that level. I'm going to make these look like greens because I'm getting low on reds in the rack, in the dealer rack. Here's $50. Hey, look at that. We got the 10 to pay. That's awesome. $20 moves to the 10, by the way. So the 10's going to pay 15 flat and 30 on the odds, which is awesome. I have $20 here, $20 in odds, and the rest of it comes back. Again, we're just going to kind of increase the whatever flat came back goes up by a unit when it goes back to the come, and that's exactly how I'm doing this. Nice and simple, a little walk up the. Oh my God! Again, we lose that. A little walk up the ladder on the winning come bets. Another 10. Woo, baby! Look at that. That'll travel up. Now the 10's going to get paid 20 flat and 40 in odds. That's $60. I'll pay it like this, $60. That is awesome. Again, up by a unit for the flat bet, okay? It becomes a quarter. Let's go. 7 out. Okay, that's fine though, because we had $10 on the 10, and I have whatever this is, $30 out there. It pays that. Net loss of $5 off the felt. That'll work. Okay, did we make any money? No. But remember how we got tore up earlier? There's 100, 250 bucks. We start with 300 bucks. We actually made back like a decent amount of money there. I'm down with the program. Here we go. 25 to the don't. Puck is off. It's a 7, of course. Ay, ay, ay. Let's do it again. Reset it. That's off. On the 5 we go. Here we go. Let's make it happen. 8. $9. 4. All right. No odds till something pays. No odds till when something pays, we'll start using the payments as odds. That was a 6. We're not on it. There's the 8. We're on that one. Great. Into the come, onto the 9. It's going to reinvest it all. It goes back to the 8 again. An 8 pays again. That's great. Into the come, onto the 4. It's going to kind of keep reinvesting as I get my wins. There's a 6. There's the 7. That's a bummer. We actually made nothing. We kept reinvesting, trying to catch a little wave there. We do get a quarter down there. What time is it? Do I have time to do one more shooter? One more shooter? Can I do or no? I have time for one more at 3 minutes. Time for one more shooter. One more shooter. Let's do it. Puck is off. Give me something besides a freaking come out 7. You bitch. Look at that. I'm so unlucky sometimes, I swear. There is a green. Wow. Come on, Johnny. 8. All right, we get to fight the 8. There's a 3. There's your 5. Ugly. Ugly. You know what I'm doing? I'm gonna pull a Wayland. We're gonna ladder that bitch up. We're laddering up. We're gonna go. Every time I get aggressive. Every time I get aggressive. Now it's 3 on the dome. There's an 8. Okay, we're gonna get paid coming out. How gross. 15 bucks coming. Come on, dude. Oh my God. Talk about target practice. Holy hell. Every time I level up my comeback, we have a craps number come out. Every time I set a point, we lose it. Here we go. Last roll of the day. Last roll of the day. It's all going in the field. Working on the come out. It's a 10. All right, that's going to give me something. What's that? 40 bucks. All right, I can do $24 on the 6 and 8. Puck is going to be on the 10. $2 change. We'll put that on the 4 and the 10. Let's go. All or nothing right here. $25, $28. He said. Cool. Let's grab the 4 and the 6 and the 8 hard. Let's make this look like 30. Let's make this look like 30. And there's 20 bucks. And the 4 and the 10. Come on. Miracle. Miracle time. There's a 9. I have 15 bucks on the 9. That'll pay 21. I'm going to press everything up to nickels on the outside. Now we're at 96 across, but the 6 and 8 are high. I'm going to put all that on the 8. All or nothing. We're just gonna full press all or nothing. So I can bring a black. I'm just going to go all the way until I get a black chip back in the rack. All right. 70 bucks. I'm going to go $5 on the hard 6. There's a 9. There's a 9. $21 on the 9. Full press. Again, I'm not collecting until I see a black chip in the payment. Target practice, right? Go to the black. Oh no, we got a 7. And John just burned 800 bucks today. So our $1 million challenge, starting over at 0 next Friday. It wouldn't be Friday Follies if I didn't go all in, play completely unconservatively, right? And lost all my money. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. All right, turn that off. Come on back, have some fun, shall we? Haha. Yeah, so here's the problem, James. I love you, James Newberry, but you're trying to make sense. You're trying to make logical sense, and you can't do that on Friday. Friday's not allowed. No logic allowed on Friday, right? Normally, I would agree with you. On a Friday, I'm not. Only because on Friday is a who cares day, right? Friday is literally like light a match, throw it on the table, and either we burn the house down or we make $1 million in homeowners insurance. One of the two. Either we're making all the money or none of the money on Fridays. Fridays is all or nothing. And it's stupidly fun, right? It's just kind of a selfishly, let's have a good old time and who cares, right? But again, the whole point of it is this. Like I say this all the time. It's good to see that happen because it's reality. A lot of people do that. A lot of people just go all in. Just go across and just pray. Go across and kind of pray. It's not going to work. That you can't do that. The little don't with a little bit of hedge going across for a couple of rolls and getting out, that can work. A little bit of don't, a little bit of a cross, coming down and trying, that's okay. That's a little bit of a safer shot at it, but just running out place bets all day long, yeesh, a little scary. The come better did good, actually. That one come betting sequence we had was great. We went from being down to $60 to winning $250. That worked out well. Again, the right set of rolls did it for us, but that's it. Let me go here and look for is there any PCs in here? Any PC comments? PC comments. Have I changed my dice set? No, I have not. And again, I'm not in the garage settings in the DPC. I'm not changing dice sets. I'm just trying to work a throw. Like I keep the same set all the time because for no reason at all, it shows consistency, right? If I set it the same with the ones on top every single time, some days all I get is sevens. Some days all I get are sixes with that, right? Or whatever I'm getting. It's the way that you can see what your toss is doing when I'm learning. And when you're learning and practicing, I think the same set is giving you the information about what you're doing. And that's the only reason why I never change the sets. Someday I'll be good enough, but not right now. Not right now. Teacher cheating. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Did I say something? Teacher cheating. I'm not sure what I must have missed a comment there. Any questions, by the way? We lost $1 million? No, I've lost $300. So far, I'm only down $300, right? Because the way that the $1 million challenge works, you start with 300, you win a little bit. If you lose it, you start back over with what you won. So you're rolling $300 forever. Now I burned it, so I'm never going to start over again. All right, I think that's really kind of it, guys. My final thoughts are going to be this, and I think I said this earlier on. Where you stand on DI or dice control is up to you. I don't have a dog in the fight. Okay, I'm trying it. I've been working on it for a year with the chopper. I have another now, probably a year to go with the helicopter toss that Gargoyle's working with me on. I'm willing to put the time in. I will put in all the time. I will film every practice session that I do where possible. I think it's important to be transparent about it. Okay, I don't know what it's going to get me in the end, if anything, but I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to get better, and we're going to see what happens. I did 5,000 throws with the old chopper, and I did make progress. There was points in the data that I can reshare with you that are very encouraging with that. I feel like I moved the needle a little bit with that old throw, which was over 5,000 throws to move the needle is actually pretty interesting. Scientifically proven, like I said, I have slow motion that shows me what I want to see. Okay, now I can cherry pick the 2 throws out of 100 that were awesome, which is what I did. That's all you need though, right? Because the it's impossible argument can't be made anymore. To me, the it's impossible argument doesn't hold water. It is possible. I've seen it. So scientifically proven, yeah, I've proven that it can work. I have not proven that I can do it any more than 1 out of 1,000 times or 1 out of 100 times. I haven't proven that it's reliable, but I've proven that it's possible. To me, that's good enough to keep going. And if nothing else, it's a nice, I said this before, it's very cathartic. Some people say it's boring. I find throwing the dice cathartic. The breathing, the relaxing, I love doing that. It increases my enjoyment of this game. Whether it works for me or not, it makes me happy. And I think that to come out super negative against that is it's just, there's no point to that. There's no point to being pissed off all the time. And to the whole scientific, unscientific thing, there's 0 point to have gotten pissed off by what got said. 0 point to that. It solves nothing, especially when you didn't hear what you thought you heard, and that's the disappointing part. Not hearing what you thought you heard and going crazy about it, and going nuts on it, or going angry person on it. That's a shame, you know. And it happened to me. It happened to me with the whole trending thing. So I get it, but let's listen to what people say, and the guys that have the wisdom, lean into the wisdom, please. Lean into what they're saying. And I told you, watch that video with Ed, Gargoyle, and Jeff, and Heavy. Watch it a couple times and take notes, because there's such gold in there, right? But you can't just go, oh, they said something I don't agree with, therefore they are idiots, and go off the deep end. That should never be a thing for us. We're all adults, and we're better than that. We're better than that. So that said, happy Friday. There's no Friday night fights tonight. I'm working on a new format for that show, and I've just been busy. So news on that coming soon. With that said, you have a great day. You have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. I'm sure I'll see you out there in the world at some point over the weekend. But if I don't, remember that I love you, and I appreciate every minute that you spend with me. God bless every one of y'all. See y'all later. Bye.